Before I start this conversation, I want to be really clear about something. The principles I'm about to share are not mine originally. They come from Warren Buffett, someone who has spent a lifetime thinking clearly about money, discipline, and long-term decisions. What I'm sharing today isn't coming from someone who ignored these principles for years, and it's not coming from someone who mastered them early either. It's coming from someone who understands them more clearly now and is intentionally putting them into practice. When I look back, I can see where I did some things right, I can see where I delayed others, and I can definitely see where I wish I had taken certain habits more seriously sooner. But I've also learned something important. It's never too late to start making better decisions with money. That's really the heart behind this message. Not regret, clarity, and momentum. I'm sharing this because if you're early in your journey, you can take these habits seriously and benefit from them long term. And if you feel like you're late, if you feel like you should have started years ago, I don't want that feeling to become an excuse to stay stuck. These principles work whether you're 25, 45, or 65. The question isn't when you should have started. The question is what you're going to do next. Let's get into it. The first habit I'm actively practicing is paying myself first. And this one sounds simple until you actually try to do it. For a long time, investing felt like something I'd get to once everything else was handled. Once the bills were paid, once life was comfortable, and once things slowed down. What I've learned is that if you wait until the end, you rarely start. Putting this into practice means deciding in advance that a portion of every dollar you earn never even gets the chance to be spent. The most important part is automation. When the money moves automatically into an investment account, it removes emotion and willpower from the equation. Whether that number is 5%, 10%, or more, the habit matters more than the amount at the beginning. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Paying yourself first is really about telling your future self that they matter just as much as your present self. The second habit I'm practicing more intentionally is living below my means. And this one required a mindset shift. I used to believe that once income increased, things would naturally feel easier. What actually happens for most people is that expenses rise right along with income, and the stress never really goes away. Living below your means isn't about deprivation or saying no to everything. It's about alignment. It's about creating margin on purpose. Practically, this means knowing exactly where your money is going, not guessing. When you track your expenses honestly, you start to see which dollars are supporting the life you want long term and which ones are just noise. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where opportunity lives. And no matter how much you make, the gap can always be created. The third habit I'm focusing on is making my money work for me instead of relying only on my time and effort. Hard work still matters, but I no longer see it as the finish line. I see it as the fuel. The shift here is intentional investing, taking earned income and converting it into assets that can grow without my daily involvement. Putting this into practice means having a plan for where investments go and why. Rather than reacting emotionally to headlines or market noise, it also means thinking in terms of ownership instead of consumption. When money is invested consistently over time, it starts doing things that effort alone never can. And that's when real momentum begins to build. The fourth habit I'm practicing is delayed gratification, and this one shows up in small, everyday decisions more than big, dramatic ones. It's easy to think of delayed gratification as saying no to everything, But in reality, it's about filtering decisions through a better question. Instead of asking, can I afford this right now? I've learned to ask, is this helping the future I'm trying to build? Delaying gratification doesn't mean never enjoying life. It means choosing intentionally. It's recognizing that short-term comfort can quietly steal from long-term freedom. If you're not paying attention, this habit strengthens over time. And the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to choose progress over impulse. The fifth habit I'm much clearer on now is prioritizing assets over lifestyle expenses. Early on, it's easy to blur the lines between what feels productive and what actually produces results. An asset is something that creates options in the future. An expense is something that requires maintenance. Putting this habit into practice means slowing down before financial decisions and asking whether that decision strengthens your long-term position or just improves today's convenience. This isn't about guilt, it's about clarity. When assets come first, lifestyle becomes easier to sustain later without pressure. The sixth habit I continue to lean into is ongoing financial education. No one is born understanding money, investing, or compounding. What I've learned is that ignorance is expensive, but education is empowering. Putting this into practice doesn't mean becoming an expert overnight. It means committing to learning a little at a time. One book, one podcast, one thoughtful conversation. Over time, that knowledge compounds just like money does, and it changes how you see opportunities, risk, and patience. The more you understand, the more confident and calm your decisions become. The seventh habit that ties all of this together is thinking long-term. This has been the biggest shift for me. Short-term thinking asks what feels good or easy right now. Long-term thinking asks, how does decisions affect tomorrow's options? Putting this into practice means zooming out, thinking in years and decades instead of weeks and months. It means respecting time as an asset, not something to rush through. Whether you're starting at 25, 45, or 65, time still works in your favor when you give it the chance. I'm sharing all of this not because I've arrived, but because I'm committed to practicing these habits now, committed to making better decisions going forward, and committed to passing this perspective on, not just to you, but to my kids as well. If you're listening and you're early in your journey, take this seriously and stay consistent. If you feel late, don't let that stop you. The best time to start may have been years ago, but the second best time is today. The question isn't where you've been, it's what you choose to do next. If you're a real estate agent listening to this and you're serious about taking your business to the next level, I want you to hear this clearly. Real estate is an incredible profession when you truly commit to it. It gives you the opportunity to build income, flexibility, and wealth faster than almost any other career, but only if you run it with intention and structure. The better you get, the more opportunity shows up. If you're ready to stop guessing, stop starting over, and start building something predictable and sustainable, take a moment, click the link in the description below. That will take you to the production program where I walk you through step by step how to structure your week, track the right metrics, and build real momentum in your business. No hype, just proven systems and accountability. We'll see you in the next video.